Hi, it's Iona here, and it is so great to be back with you because we are walking around. Let's see, where's my little cheat sheet here? We're walking around the natural circadian cycle of the year, moon month by moon month, looking at keywords that provide us with a creative focus. And as we've stated before, there are countless ways for us to find our own path, and all I'm doing is sharing one that I feel has a universal quality to it. In other words, it isn't cookie cutter, it's individualized as each of us engages the energetic gift of the moon month as we experience it, as we express it, as we choose to create through it, as maybe as a theme, and as we allow ourselves to collaborate with the energy itself. So we've been looking at trust, and we are now going to be moving to the energy of love as we move from one moon to the next moon. And walking around the circadian circle of a year, following the energies of the moon, simply gives us an opportunity to think with a more circular quality rather than a linear approach. And today I wanted to share a wonderful way to jumpstart our ability to love what we trust, or to trust what we love, or to gain clarity around what we would like to have more wisdom around, or to clear away some space so that we can make room for renewal. I'm just popping in keywords from around the circle and allowing myself to imagine that I can activate any one of these points anytime I choose. I don't have to be in line with anybody else's rhythm. The main thing when we're working with this circle of circadian energy of the year is that we're always working from the center of the circle and moving out. We have these 4 pathways that give us access to different compass points of the year. We start in the east, we open up in the south for the summer, we move over to the west. I think I'm getting that. I'm going around backwards because I'm looking at the screen. And anyway, we start in the east, we move to the south, and then up to the north, and we just constantly move around the energy of the circle from within, from our core, from our own ability to have a backbone and get up in the morning and get out there and allow ourselves to experience, express, create, and contribute our gifts to the world. I wanted to talk about the power of the postcard today. There's something really quite special about a small space when we feel like we don't know what to do. So I wanted to kind of encourage us to have available at the ready a small space, a small blank space for a note, for an idea, for an inspiration. We might hear a quote while we're walking through a store, or we might hear a sound when we're out in nature, and we might just want to make a notation and keep these notes, these cards, in a place where we can access them and go through them, flip through them. I want to tell you a little story. It was in 1993. I had lost touch with a friend that really was a soul sister. We hadn't talked for a long time because of some things that had happened in her life that created the need for her to withdraw so that she could reassess and connect with what she was going to be up to next. It had been 2 years before she wanted to make contact with anybody outside of her immediate family. And when I saw her, I was kind of shocked. And I said something that created even more of a barrier. I just inquired her about her health. Are you okay? I haven't seen you for 2 years. Are you okay? She pushed me further away, and I waited another year. And it was the holiday in 1992, and I phoned to see if we could talk. And her husband picked up the phone like no time had passed whatsoever, and we had a great little visit. And then he handed the phone off to my soul sister, and I told her I'd been thinking so much about her, and I wondered how she was. And she said, funny. And as she said what she said, a hawk flew onto a telephone pole right outside my second floor window. and the hawk had a robin and began to pull the feathers out of the robin's breast as she said, "Funny, I never think about you." Thought, well, there's that. Okay, let it go, let it go. And what it did is it opened up a space for me to begin to think about what comes in when something is gone. And I used the postcard format to begin to investigate. And in 1993, I did a series. I have a whole series right here. Just unframed them very recently, but each bundle is a month in the year 1993. 1 month is banded, and they're all postcards. I did a postcard a day for a year to investigate the idea of being spacious, having space. Even if it's just the smallest amount of space, there's space. So I began to do, and I have some of my August cards here, which I'll just flip through without any specific, just to kind of show you some of the August cards. Every day I would do a postcard. And of course I was doing other things at the same time. But I would do a postcard a day as a little meditation on what I was experiencing at the time, to allow me to really feel into the loss, the grieving, and the opportunity that the space was creating so that I'd be able to move forward with no longer having this particular important person in my life. It was an actual, of course, it was a death. So I want to impress upon us, and many times throughout the year, there was nothing to be said, and sometimes there was something to be said. And I think I'm on the wrong side of some of these now. So you get the idea. You get the idea that there's always something in us, no matter how small it might be. There's something in us that can gift us with an image, an idea, an inspiration. And we can find then, when we go through those images, those inspirations and those ideas, that they ignite something more. To close our little time together today, talking about how we're transitioning from trust over to what we love about our lives, which will be our next 4 weeks of exploration. This is also a very interesting book. And a doctor friend of mine in D.C. created the foreword. She wrote about the foreword of in this book, and so she sent me a copy of it. Post Secret. It's a collection of postcards done by random people all over the country, and the whole book is filled with postcards and their messages. So it might not just be the card itself, but it might be just what the card says. Some of them are very juicy, and some of them are very, very hard, and some of them are just very celebratory. The beauty of a small space. And so today I want to just say, go get yourself some cards. These are a little bit larger than a traditional postcard. This one is a little bit smaller than a traditional postcard. I made a collection of all postcards, and it turned out that 1993 was the 100-year anniversary of the postcard. I had no idea when I started, but that was the way that whole wonderful experience series gave me that gift too, to see I was celebrating something and I didn't even know that it was an anniversary to celebrate. I am so glad you're here, and I look forward to seeing you next time, and I hope that you will find a small space to write a quote, an idea, an inspiration, do a doodle, a drawing, draw a circle. Draw a circle with another circle inside of it and make 4 compass points. That could be your first experience with giving yourself a gift on a very small piece of surface. Talk to you soon.